Hey, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Let's Go Fishing Show. And as you can see, my special guest over here tonight is Mr. Glenn Reynolds from Reynolds Racing Marine. Glenn, hey, good to have you.
Glad to be here.
All right. Glenn's over here tonight. He's gonna promote his Labor Day sale. He's gonna start tomorrow, and I'll let him tell you all about that here in a little bit. But he's going to talk about boats that he's got for sale at his place, and the pros and cons of why, and the good and the bad of everybody else's, and just on, he's just a world of knowledge, and it's a pleasure to have him on here again tonight. We've had him a couple of times before. And Glenn, let me take 1 minute here. I want to say hello to my dad and to Bill and Polly Nichols up there in Clinton. And so now, Glenn, you just get us started out. I will say this, the last few minutes of the show, I've got some announcements I want to make, so once we get done, we'll start into some announcements.
Okay.
All right. Herschel, we're going to, I'll tell you what, when you get ready, you and Glenn just communicate and on what boat we want to show and what we want to do, and I think we had some video we was going to show, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Okay, he's trying to get the video going right now. But Glenn and I shot some video down at his place there today and this afternoon, and some 4 or 5 different brands of boats he's got, and then he's got all the ins and outs of what they're equipped with, rigged with, Glenn. Basically what the deal is on getting one set up to go.
Okay.
And are you ready? All right, take us to the video, Herschel. All right, now we've got about 3 or 4 folks. I'm trying to get a picture of this Phoenix boat here at Reynolds Racing and Marine, and so we can show y'all tonight. So I've got to get my camera off, record, and get it on picture. So stand by. All right, folks, I'm here at Reynolds Racing and Marine. Got Mr. Glenn Reynolds right here. Glenn, tell us about this boat here.
Well, duck season's around the corner. This is a well-built boat. It's 1648. I mean, it's 16 foot long, 48 inches in the bottom. It's all open for the way the duck hunters like it. They have a couple of pedestals front, 2 in the back. Make a very inexpensive V-bottom duck boat. And we've got some expresses down here we're going to go to next.
All right. All right. I got you, Glenn.
Okay, this is an express duck boat. It's a little more features, a little more upscale. It has a rod and gun box, all carpet down inside. It has a welding floor, has the I-beams up the side as you see there. It's got the I-beams, so it's a very strong, tough boat. It has what they call the ice runners on the bottom when you're jumping at logs and stumps. So this boat's available, and so come on down and we'll try to get you fixed up. You're interested in the duck boat.
All right, thank you, Glenn. You're ready.
Okay. This is the new 21 XRS. It's got the new spring seats as you see down inside. That's new. It's got all new interior, and it's a pretty silver and white and with red pins.
It's beautiful colors, Glenn. It really is. It's a pretty boat. There's no doubt about it.
Check it all out. Makes a good picture.
Yeah, we've got some pictures of it there earlier, and I'm going to walk around and look at the back of it with the jack plate and everything already on it. And,
all ready to go.
All ready to go. All you need is the engine.
Engine
and an owner. Well, folks, I'll tell you what, this new model Bullet that he's got right here is absolutely beautiful. There's no doubt about it. It is beautiful, and it's the new 21 XRS, and man, it is beautiful. I'm telling you. So we'll get with Glenn and try to get another boat on the camera. Okay, folks, Glenn and I are in this Phoenix boat, and I'm going to move up here in the front and let him show us some of the features. Okay, Glenn.
Here's a feature that, as far as I know, I haven't seen another boat have. It's under the seat net storage.
That's a nice feature.
I don't know nobody that has that. None of the other brands that I know of. Here's another feature is a fastener rod box.
Yes, sir.
It has the rod slots in the back. Has a stainless steel. Has a stainless steel gas shocks. Of course, it has the. Might have to get on the back side. It comes with a couple of HDS8s, 36-volt Kohler motor. It has alternator systems, adjustable foot pedal, tilt wheel.
Yes, sir.
Like I say, we like to compare with any brand on the market today.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Glenn, it's nice. It's pretty. It's silver, black with red trim.
Yeah.
Very beautiful boat. Sure is. Let me get a picture of this. Folks, that's all right. Okay, folks, I'm looking at that motor guide, 36-volt trolling motor. I think it's probably a little over 100 pounds of thrust. It's on the front of the boat, so we'll get back to Glenn. Okay, Glenn, and this boat's what size?
It's called a 920.
A 920.
It is 20 foot, 6 inches long, 96-inch beam.
Okay. This red one over here now, what's it?
It's called a 721.
721.
It's 20 foot 11 inches, but like I say, inch of being 20 foot with an 8 foot beam. It's a little more streamlined. This is a little narrower up front, a little wider up front.
All right. Man, that color sure is pretty good. Glenn, I'll tell you what, both of these boats are just absolutely beautiful. The color schemes on them, they're just absolutely beautiful.
We got a sale going on this weekend. Probably through if we make the deal this weekend, we can do the paperwork Monday or Tuesday of next week or Wednesday.
All right, folks. Now Glenn's going to be on the show with me tonight, and he's going to go into detail on his sale that he's having this weekend. It starts tomorrow, so be watching the show, and we'll be looking forward to see you. All right, folks, there's the video that we shot down there today and got a chance to look at some of the boats. Herschel, you're going to have to help me here. I can't remember which boat's coming up first as far as the pictures go. You'll have to kind of help us out on that. But, Glenn, we showed four different brands down there today.
Yes,
And the Camouflage Express, that's what he says is coming up first. You want to talk about that boat first?
Yeah, let's talk about,
all right.
We've got several brands, top brands, and which excel in several areas, performance, fuel mileage, construction, ride, and we'd like to show and tell about it.
Yeah, okay.
Now duck season's coming up.
Yes, sir.
And we have the Well-Built brand, and we have the Express brand in the duck boats and the fishing boats. That's showing there. That's showing that's XP200, looks like with a 90 on it.
Yeah.
And we have, I guess we have, they're made with a cord construction.
Yeah. Can you cut back to, there you go, Herschel. Now then, Glenn.
Okay. Now the Express this is the bottom, and it has a foam coring, and it makes it very, very solid. Makes it quiet, and it's all integral welded. Express, I think, is the only one I know of that makes an all aluminum boat and trailer, and it all welded together.
Can you turn that? I want folks to see this inside membrane right here, cross member in that thing. Yeah, really ties it together.
Yeah, this is in the floor, and we have the I-beams running long ways, and it's welded in here, and it says it's welded on top. They didn't grind that down, but that shows the weld.
It's a weld, right?
Shows the weld, and it's all an integral unit. And it makes it very, very strong.
Well, I tell you what, that looks awful good. Dang. That's some stout material too, Glenn.
Very stout. In fact, it almost triples the strength. If you got 125 here and 125 here, that's stronger than a 3/16 plate because it spreads it out. It makes it like a bridge.
Right.
Like a bridge.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. Herschel, put that Express back up there. And if you can, if it's not too much. Yeah, there we go. Now, Glenn, I'm looking at that boat, and tell me some of the features that's on the boat, as if I were wanting to buy it, what it comes with.
Well, it comes
standard
with,
equipment.
of course, depth finders and aerators,
Right.
built-in tank. And it's sort of a combination hunting boat and a fishing boat. You
Right.
see.
Yeah. That's I guess that's why it's a camo color.
It's camo color. You can, and it's 8 foot wide and 20 foot long.
Jeez, I knew it was a big boat.
Sells for low 20s. It has a aluminum trailer.
Yeah.
Which aluminum tube trailer, which almost nobody has. So it's got a lot of good features
to it. Yeah. It looks nice. I knew it was big. It looks like a barge sitting there. I'll tell you,
it is big, and we have smaller ones too. But that's
that's a huge boat.
That's a 20 foot, 8 foot wide, and 20 foot long. You see.
All right, that sounds good. I couldn't believe how big that thing is. I'll tell you that right now. It just open and plenty of room.
Plenty of room.
That's for sure. Be great for a deer hunter.
Deer hunter, drag it up on the bank.
Yeah. Yes, sir. He got plenty of room to put his deer back in there.
He could camp out in it.
He definitely could. I guarantee.
You could pitch you
a tent.
Put you a cot in the inside.
Yes, sir. It's huge. There ain't no doubt about it. All right, Herschel. What's the next one you got? Okay. All right, the duck boat that's sitting in the back. There we go. Okay. Now, Glenn, this boat is camo. I hope they can tell that on the camera. What's the deal with this boat right
This is a well-built brand.
Well-built, okay.
It's a very economically priced. Most duck hunters don't want a lot of obstruction inside the
right.
the boat.
They got to carry their decoy. I've run into a few down there at the boat ramps, and they'd be loaded up with decoys. I mean, just heaped up in the middle of it.
They want a lot of floor space.
Yes, sir.
So it's an inexpensive 1648. Means it's 48-inch bottom and 16 foot long, and made for anywhere. A lot of them in Arkansas, you don't run a 25 horsepower. So it runs good with a 25.
25. Yeah. Okay.
And I have them in stock. Motors and all that.
Well, man, that sounds good. And they don't trolling motors or nothing like that. It's just all about
that's a duck boat, but you can put a trolling motor on.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. It's got seat pedestals too, but
right.
it's true blood duck hunter. He don't want none of that.
No, he's out there for duck hunting, and that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Herschel, what do you think about something else? All right, there it is. There's the bullet.
Okay, that's a 21 XRS.
21 XRS.
Yeah,
okay.
It's sort of a new model. It's a status quo now, and a 21-foot boats now with the 250s. That's the status quo. Most all tournament fishermen.
Yeah.
Now this boat, of course, is all hand laid, both deck and hull. It's got some Divinity cell coring in it. It's a real nice performance boat.
Right.
And a good fishing platform.
Yes, sir. I'm going to comment on that thing. It's beautiful.
It is pretty.
It is a pretty boat. I'm telling you, it doesn't. I'm on the dark side, and with that picture, and I should have got on the sunshine side where it sparkled like a new penny, but. It's really nice. I think we showed it in the video there earlier. Now, Glenn, what does that thing come standard with?
Well, it's got the smart craft gauges.
Okay.
It's got of course, got the windshield that they've not got to me yet. It's got the battery charger. Got everything except, of course, the trolling motor and the big motor, and then your electronics. You see.
All right.
But we can see a lot of times if people want to custom build that boat.
Yes, sir.
They may want this engine, they may want a bigger engine, they may want a 300 horsepower. You see. So we can do that and set it all up for you.
All right. It's I noticed it's got hydraulic steering.
All of them have hydraulic steering.
Got the jack plate. That's pretty much standard anymore, isn't it?
That's
the old manual torque on the wheel is gone.
Yeah.
I'm glad of it. I'll tell you. Really glad of it. It's man, it's beautiful. If you're in the market for a high performance bass boat, folks, I'll tell you right now, that is the prettiest one they are around. I guarantee you, It really looks nice. You ought to go by there this weekend and just look at it and check it out, and I think you'll agree with me. It's really pretty. And that's their newest model out right now.
That's the newest model out they got right now.
21.
XRS. It's got some improvements in the interior.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got the new spring-loaded seats.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, on the fishing pedestals up there, they've got the springs underneath.
I'm talking about the seat. Your
passenger and riding seat. Yeah, I knew they'd raised it up.
Raised it up. It's got the new
springs loaded seats.
Wood spring seats in it.
Shucks, that's all right. That's to cushion the ride.
Cushion the ride a little bit as your back gets a little stiffer. It's a little easier.
Yes, sir. It's tandem axle trailer.
Disc, stainless fenders, tube trailer, swing tongue, the whole ball of wax.
Man, I tell you what, that sounds like a pretty good package. And I noticed you had a 250 Pro XS sitting in there.
We can bolt it on in a few minutes.
Yeah. Man, that'd be a setup. Ain't no doubt about it, folks. So, like I said, you need to get down there and check that out. All right, Herschel, we've done good so far. Is there anything on the construction of that boat that you want to talk about other than being hand-laid?
The Bullet has, it's a hand-laid hull and deck.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking all the wood out of it now. And them and Allison's about the only one that has a hand-laid deck.
Mm-hmm.
Most all of them are chopper gun.
Right.
And some of the most expensive jobs. So it's about those two models, the only one I know of, both hand-laid, both the deck and the hull. You see.
Yeah. All right. That's
so that's a feature,
And
it's about normally that boat set up is normally around an 80-mile-an-hour boat.
Yeah.
Which is
pretty good on them. Yeah.
You're talking about with a tournament load,
yeah.
That's pretty close to that.
That's folks, 80-mile-an-hour loaded a tournament boat is, like Glenn said, is pretty dang good. You're scooting on pretty good. When you get up in the mid to upper 80s, you're kind of getting on the edge.
That's a little fast, and we need to be going.
Yeah. Yeah. And things can happen real quick, Glenn, and that kind of speed.
And we always support safety. That's always at the top of the list.
Exactly right. It's amazing. A lot of people have older boats, and when these foot throttles came in, I thought it was the best invention to start with. I thought, well, man, I don't need that. But then the first time I got one, I realized what that thing was for.
Oh, yeah.
And it was all about the safety aspect of it. It returned to a idle. It's spring loaded. The miniature foot comes off of it. It comes back to a dead idle on your engine and low speed, so that was a real good feature. And I've never had a boat without one since.
Yeah, if you're running the speeds that these new boats go,
mm-hmm.
and you have an emergency situation, if you have to fumble around there and get the handle pulled back, sometimes everything's already over with.
Yeah, exactly right, Glenn. Yes, sir. It's for sure.
We sell everything from 150 up with a hot foot.
Hot foot. Okay. All right, folks. That's a good point right there. It is a huge safety feature. You'll just be cruising along, and you'll hit a roller out there that you didn't see, and you're bounced up out of the seat, and your foot's off the throttle
instantly,
and it's your engine's idled down and coming down to a slow speed. So it's a real good thing. And then if you were to get thrown out or something, it's
kill switches
is necessary. And that's one of the requirements for us bass fishermen. If you're in a tournament, you're supposed to have your life jacket on, zipped up, buckled up, and your kill switch on. And that's a good thing. Even the smaller engines, I understand now, have the tiller handles, have kill switches on them. Is that right?
Yes, they sure do.
So we're just getting all kinds of information. But if you're standing up, or sitting down, running that tiller handle, you could hit something and get thrown overboard. So you need your kill switch hooked up.
That's true.
how many people have we heard that's been in the water, thrown out of a boat, and the boat circles around and hits them?
I've seen it several times.
Yeah. So some people lose their life that way, and you know, where they get struck by the boat, they can't get out of the circle, and they drowned or whatever.
When I was a kid, I got pitched out, wasn't paying any attention. They come out and run over me. But no more run of that kill switches.
Yeah,
it take me once, but learn a lesson.
Learn the lesson. There you go. That's exactly right. Herschel, what you got on there for us now? The Red Phoenix. All right, let's get into that Phoenix boat right there. And Glenn, you and I kind of done a little look over with that video camera there this afternoon on some of the features inside that boat.
Yeah, sure did.
And it's there, man. There's some good pictures of it.
Got the 250 Pro XS on it. Got a real special on that boat this weekend.
Okay.
If you want to buy a 21-foot boat with a 250 on it, at a deal, come down.
Okay. All right, man, folks. That boat there is beautiful too. I'm telling you, it's nice. It's sharp. It's got padded front deck up there. Not the whole deck, but up there where you stand to do your business, it's all padded, and the carpet feels like like you're laying on a mattress, and it's really nice. That thing's loaded out pretty dang good.
Sure is, and of course Phoenix says better materials, better craftsmanship makes better boats. That's their motto, you see.
Right.
And they're built with the bias-ply glass and the Venicel, so they really come a long ways in their construction, you see.
Well, boy, it's got a lot of storage in it.
It's got tons of storage, a lot more features than any boat I've seen. It's got passenger rod box that nobody else has. Mm-hmm. It's got that one has a rotisserie up front. It has under the seat net storage.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's got, and you look at it's got double everything, double live wells, not a divider now. It's got a double live well. Yeah. 2 aerators, 2 oxygenator systems, 1 in each live well. So bringing we like to compare all brands. Yes, sir. So bring it down, and we'd be glad to compare price and features, you see.
Boy, you know, that thing's, I just couldn't believe the storage up around the front and back in the back that thing's got it. And, you know, you and I were talking about that dip net storage. Everybody runs around with the dip net hung on the pole seat back in the back, or either laying up in the front, and when you reach to grab it, it's tangled up in another rods and lures and this, that, Glenn. It's a mess. I've thrown had lures hung in it, and you have to put it in the water with with the lures that hung in it to net the fish, you know, so that is, I really like that feature with the dip net in its storage there and in the floor.
It has something on the bottom called a diamond V. Mm-hmm. There, you can't see it, but there is a. I see that. Puts a white water up there, and it rides.
Rides really good.
It rides really good, mm-hmm. and it agitates that water, and makes it run on a cushion of white water.
Yeah.
And it worked. That's sort of a unique feature.
That's great. Anything about the tray? I know we showed the 36-volt trolling motor, yes, and you said it's how many pounds of thrust?
I think it's 112 right now.
112. Dang.
The trailer is covered with gator hide.
Gator hide trailer.
What causes this trailer to rust is it gets rock chips.
Yes, sir.
And it starts from there.
Yep.
And you know what? This gator hide material is very tough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got the tread plate wrapped over the top of the fender, so it'll be there a long time.
A long time. I agree with you. It's a nice rig, I'm telling you. And it's got a power seat pedestal in the front and a set-down seat in the back.
Yes,
And that divider between the passenger seat and the driver's seat, we didn't get a real good picture of that, I don't think. But that's a nice feature. I like that.
That's
storage under there. Yeah. I like that awful well. And the back of it's down, kind of like got non-skid on the top for you to step up on the back deck and that kind of stuff. I really did like that. I sure did. Okay, Herschel, what's your next one? That's the last one? All right. Then we're going to turn it over to Glenn and get him back on the camera here. He's got some cutaways of some stuff. And,
Okay.
And you do want to talk about the Allison boat.
We do. That's sort of
You got something coming up?
we missed her getting our boat in, but it's supposed to be here in the morning. Allison's built what they call a cord bottom. Now, how you tell a boat, you feel in the drain plug hole. Some boats are about that thick. Now, these, of course, are real thick, and that makes it like a bunch of I-beams, and it makes it very, very stiff and very hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can see how it rings.
Yep.
So that's a cutaway. Now, Allison has aluminum transom encapsulated into fiberglass. You can see a little bit of it.
Right. I see it
there.
shining there. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but,
Sure do.
We was trying to get a whole transom, but we didn't get one in
Right.
time. But that's very unique for the Allison is a cord, and of course they're glassed together inside and out.
Uh-huh.
From about the only boat we have that's a unibody.
Right.
They're turned over on a rotisserie, glassed on the outside on the rub rail, and then they're turned up on the edge and they're glassed. And if you're down my way, I can show you one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that's the only boat I know of in the bass boat that glasses their boats together inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I don't know of anybody else that does.
Okay.
Most of them are put on there with
the
sheet metal wood type screws.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's I guess the Allison is a we've got them that's 25 years old.
Right.
That's been run 300 horsepower engines on them all their life, and the structure they're the same as those. I mean, they get beat up a little bit
right.
appearance-wise,
Uh-huh.
but the transom now is as strong as it's ever been.
Right.
We're having a rash now of name brand boats now with the transom all out of it.
Is that right?
Yes.
Dang.
But you'd imagine how much stress is on the transom now. We've got bigger motors. We sometimes put power poles back there.
Mm-hmm.
We bump these rough water.
Yep.
And you got to have some kind of real solid transom to hold them these days.
Well, you know, you and I talked about that a few days ago, and these engines are got the cubic inches of them are bigger.
Oh, yeah.
They weigh a whole lot more.
Oh, I know.
And all that weight's right back there on the back, and then you load them down in the front. And then we want that thing to get up on top of the water
and rock and roll.
The
new Yamaha was 4.2 liters.
4.2 liters.
Well, you know, just a few years ago, we had motors V6s that was just 2 liters.
Exactly
so
right.
We've doubled the cubic
inches, yeah.
And the torque.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine how much stress it puts on a transom anymore.
Yes, sir.
Now, Allison is putting 6 bolts. They put 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom on each side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a unique feature. They double up on the bolts.
Oh, yeah. Most of it's 4.
Yeah, most of them are 4. That's 6.
Huh.
I didn't get Allison has another feature. They've come with a power pole mount now that mounts directly to the boat. I didn't get a chance to get one down.
Is that right?
Instead of hooking to the jack plate.
Yeah.
They're going direct into that aluminum transom and hooking it to the boat itself.
Huh.
And it's solid as a rock.
Okay.
And if you want to come down, I'll have one down there to show.
All right. Now, Glenn's going to have a Allison boat at his place tomorrow.
Should be there around lunchtime.
Around lunchtime, and if you're looking at in the market for an Allison boat, this is a new model. You can come down to his place tomorrow and check it out. And the guy's supposed to be there with all the features.
Yes, sir.
And
the salesman will be there tomorrow.
Okay.
Did we get the e-pad video?
Yeah, Herschel, you want to show us that? We're going to show this e-pad. It's a unit to put your front locator, fish finder.
It comes up out of the deck.
It comes up out of the deck. So
and that's a patented feature that nobody else has.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay. And we'll get a drink of water.
Introducing the new e-pad, another innovative first from Allison. This electronic pedestal has a patent pending and is available exclusively on the XB21 Bass 4 Pro and Bass 4 2+2. Why kneel or squat every time you want to use your fish finder when the e-pad brings the fish finder closer to you? It lets you see the detail you've been missing, especially if you have one of the new side scan units. And when you're ready to move, simply slide the E-pad down and go. Notice how the E-pad retracts completely into the deck, leaving the fish finder flush with the bow panel, providing excellent aerodynamics and visibility for safe, high-speed operation of the boat. The fish finder fits snugly into the bow panel, and like in any other bass boat, it can be operated in this position as usual. When you're ready to raise the E-pad, first lift up on the top of the fish finder unit to release it from the panel. Next, lift the unit straight up until the knob is revealed. Pull the knob slightly to release the second stage of the mast. Continue to lift the unit to the top. The E-pad locks automatically into position when you hear the clicking sound. If you want to pivot the fish finder from side to side, hold up firmly with one hand and pull the knob very slightly. The upper mast section of the E-pad will rotate and allow the fish finder to turn in either direction. To lower the E-pad, hold onto the unit and pull the knob slightly. The upper mast section will slide down first. When the upper section retracts fully into the lower section, it will automatically trigger the lock built into the base and allow the fish finding unit to retract completely flush into the bow panel. To secure the fish finder into the bow panel, push the bottom of the unit down first, then the top will fit into position. It's very important to always lower the fish finding unit into the bow panel before operating of the boat. Check out the new Allisons with large electronics on a telescopic pedestal. You will not find this feature on any other bass boat. You also might want to check out the other 101 Allison first. You will soon discover that most of the innovation found in today's bass boats originated from Allison.
All right, folks. Glenn, I hope everybody got to see that. That was a nice feature for that fish locator up on the front. Puts that thing up there.
Well, as your eyes get a little less,
yeah, I've got my glasses right here.
a little less efficient.
Yes, sir.
It's a very good feature, you know.
It sure is.
But the Allison probably got more features like that and better quality than any boat out there.
Mm-hmm.
And all you got to do is come down, we show you.
All right.
But I thought that was a pretty neat deal.
Yes, sir. It sure is. That's all right. Now, if you would, tell the folks what your plans are for your sale this weekend.
Okay, we're going to have a sale starting this weekend, and we're going to pay you sales tax on almost all items.
Right.
If it's a cost or near cost item, we can't. But everything else, it amount to about a 9.5% to 10% discount.
Yeah.
So if you anything we buy, we want coming in the morning. That's going to be the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got anything you want to buy, props or boats or anything like that, well, come on down.
Well, and I did. Listen, folks, he's got several boats there that's got the engines on them.
Oh yeah.
Already, but he's got a 250 Pro XS. Man. Sitting there in the showroom, ready to go. So if you're wanting to repair, or you want to buy one of those boats without an engine down there,
you got your own engine. A lot of people doing that.
Yeah, and that 9 or 10% tax on that thing would be a big savings.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, it's that would help a whole lot.
So come on down. If we make the deal, if we make the deal this weekend.
Yeah.
We can finalize the paperwork next weekend, get it all go. But we need to make the deal this weekend.
Make the deal this weekend, and he'll get you on the water next week.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad Glenn came over, and we talked about this transom business, and Glenn, you and I talked about that first of the week. These boats that's coming in here with the engines falling off the transom, and
we had 3 in the shop this week.
Yep.
and one of them was one of the most popular brand names in the bass boat business, and the transom was about, I put on the work order, unsafe for water use.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so, and still got one down there, and I don't name no names, but
right.
But they're pretty popular brand boats, and the transom's about to fall out of them.
Well.
And if you don't have some kind of reinforcement in that transom,
mm-hmm.
with all the torque that you talked about,
yeah,
and a lot of them have power poles now.
Yep, that's more weight.
You
see hanging back there,
flopping and a beating, and
yeah,
and it's really put the stress on the
transom. You know, and then you know, you and I are talking about this stuff, and guys, don't, you know, we talked about it there Monday evening whenever I came by. You know, you need to check those boats quite regular.
We've had what happens, the top ones get loose,
mm-hmm.
and the bottom is still tight, and it sort of peels it back, and that's part of the transom problems.
Yeah.
And it breaks the clamp bracket sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we don't need no unsafe.
No.
And always use SAE bolts. Never use a coarse thread bolt. Because they set up a stress point in those deep threads.
Right.
And it's about a 30-40% increase in tensile strength when you go to the fine thread.
Right.
And we also use grade 8s on non-saltwater applications on the top, you know.
Uh-huh.
And then Allison uses two boats on top, and so 6 boats total.
Yeah.
And we haven't had no failures since then. You know.
Well, that's and that comes to, you know, when you keep adding torque, you've got to compensate for it somewhere.
Yeah, like I told you a while ago, years ago, the 175 Mercury's was 2 liters.
Yeah.
Now the new Yamaha is 4.2 liters.
Yeah. So
we got twice the big engine, torque-wise, that we did as we did a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah. It makes sense. So I'm going to throw this out at you, folks. If you know, running one of these 100, or if you've got an engine back there on your boat, I don't care if it's a tiller mount, you need to make sure that thing's tight.
Sure, that's true.
And don't let it be flopping around. Check your boats occasionally. You know, at least I try to check mine at least once a year. I'll just get down there and say, oh, it's, you know, hey, I'm going to check my bolts and the bolts on the jack plate, make sure they're all snug, and then the ones on the transom, make sure they're still tight good. So you don't need that thing wallering around, because then you will have trouble. It breaks a seal if you've got
if you break that silicone seal,
yeah,
and you've got any kind of wood in that transom.
Yeah,
it's going to soak in there.
It's going to soak in there, and you know, you'll see little beadlets of water running down the boat head on the inside.
That's true.
And that kind of thing. So it pays to check those things. You don't have to check them every trip, but you know, there's a right way to do that and the wrong way. And Glenn would be, you know, hey, he's in the business to do that for you.
That's
if
what we
you
do,
ain't got the time to drop it off down there and let them check it out for you. Pontoon, ski boats, you're exactly right, Mike. Mike's sitting back here in the background. It's anything that's got an outboard engine. Your boats, transom boats, could get loose and cause that thing to give you trouble.
Safety's got to be at top of the list.
I agree 100%. Exactly right.
Got to be at top of the list.
All right. Well, man, I tell you what, this sale thing sounds real good, Glenn, and I hope the viewers pass that word along. If they're not in the market, they'll pass it along to somebody that they know that might be, and get down there and take advantage of this sale that you got going on.
Tell them we heard it on the fishing show.
They can tell. Make sure you let him know you heard about it on the fishing show, and might get you another discount. You can't never tell. But Glenn's got some nice boats down there, and this sale price, man, you know, you're talking $16,000 for that 250, which I'd like to think I might get it cheaper. That'd be a heck of a savings on the sales tax on that alone, Glenn.
Sure would.
And so, folks,
the base price is $18 on that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but I kind of knew it was up there real close to that. But man, I tell you what, that thing sure does look good. These 250 Pro XSs are a heck of an engine. they are just awesome. I'm well pleased with the one I got, and
you've had it several years, right?
Yeah, I sure have had it 6 years now. Yeah, 6 years and 2 months. Yeah. And man, it's been a great. And the bad thing about this, folks, I only got about 360 hours on it, so I hadn't got to use it much. You know, you say, man, 360, but you figure that up 6 years. I average about an hour and 15 minutes a weekend.
Well, that's
that on the engine. But now, don't ask me how many 1,000 hours is on my trolling motor.
That wore it out.
Yeah, that's really what I need to do is trade up on repair my trolling motor, because I don't know how many 1,000 hours. If I put the hour and 15 minutes on the big engine, my trolling motor probably gets about 7 hours a trip.
So, like I say, if they want to see the E-Ped tomorrow, it should be there around lunchtime.
That'd be great to see that.
Down. We've had a beautiful week with the weather so far this week. Been almost picturesque. So come on down and we'll demo it for you.
Chucks, that sounds good, folks. Remember that. Right quick, I'm going to make a few announcements here. I can't see the clock. 19 minutes? Shucks. Herschel, what are you doing to us?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that yet. We will. Go ahead.
So we'll get back to Glenn here in just a second. I wanted to make an announcement there about next week. Remember, Mike and Bill's going to do the show for me. I'm going to go to the football game, watch the grandson play ball. So, what, Herschel? Yeah. So he's fussing at me, folks, because he has to be here, and I'm not going to be, and he was going to be out tonight, and I told him he couldn't be because I had to have him, me and Glenn here, so he's fussing at me. But anyway, I just want to remind you that while it's on my mind, Bill and Mike will be doing the show for me next week, and we'll try to have some fishing film and this, that, and the other, and go on with that. Now, Glenn's got a couple of things laying over here that he wanted to talk about.
Well, we on now?
Yep.
Let's plug in on our pontoons. We have some fishing pontoons.
Yes, sir. That's nice.
And this is a unique deal. They're slick on the bottom. They don't have the cross members like my competition. And they got the cooling slots, as you can see.
Yes, sir.
My competition uses plywood and wood screws. And we get about a 30% increase in fuel mileage because we have less drag and less weight. And it don't soak up moisture, you see.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd plug my pontoons a little bit.
And this is a section now, folks, of the deck.
Yes,
it's on top of the pontoons. Yes, Man, I'll tell you what.
It's slick on the bottom. It's like this is on top.
Right.
Now, my competition, if you look under a pontoon, they have the cross members running crossways. And in rough water, and it just almost stops it if it's really loaded down.
Yeah.
You see how much?
Oh, it just scoots right. Yeah. It's like a bottom of an aluminum boat.
We're lighter, stronger, and cooler because we got the air slots in here than our competition.
And then the carpet would just lay right on top of that.
And it'll never see carpet on top of plywood, even though they may treat it. It'll still get heavier every year.
I agree.
And it runs slower and use more fuel every year. You see. So you get an instant savings the first time you go to the river, and better performance.
Well, man, that's a big issue, that fuel savings. I'll tell you that. That is all right. Some of the other features on the pontoon boats, you got two different. I mean, you got like a fishing boat, and then you got a real nice pleasure pontoon.
You got pleasure boats. We got tritoons. We can run up to. Sells a lot of 150s now on a tritoon for a guy that wants to use it like a pleasure boat. You know, like he can, and they ride good because of the big wide tunnels.
Right.
So we sell those, and we sell a 90 to 115 is a popular model. And then we have the 50s and 70s where we put on some 20-foot fishing versions. You see. So just come down and we'll get you fixed up.
Are they going to be into the sale?
They're in that sale too.
Well,
summer is not
over.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, I hear you.
These 90-degree days, we don't need to waste them.
No, that's a fact. There's not going to be a whole lot of them, but then again, I have seen it linger on into the the latter part of September, and it's
Sure is.
you know, and it'd be pretty dang hot. So
and then the fishing gets pretty good again.
It does.
In the late fall. Gets
Yes, sir.
Trees turn. It's a beautiful,
Yeah.
picturesque scene.
Yes, sir. Sure will. Water starts cooling down. They start coming back in shallow water and feeding up on the shad. So, yeah, it's still got some good swimming, skiing, boat riding weather left. And, you know, a lot of people will take that boat ride and go up to UT and watch the football game.
Yes, football's coming on.
And that kind of thing. So that's great. Well, I tell you what, folks, if you listen, go by down there this weekend and just stop in and look it over, and you'll see what Glenn's got down there. He's got some nice boats, and for whatever purpose you might have, you know, if you're a duck hunter or a crappie fisherman, catfisherman, bass fisherman.
We can have a catfish boat we missed down there.
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly right. We should have got a picture of that. He's got a heck of a boat down there for you catfishermen.
It's got a big monstrous live well up front.
Yep, and sure did.
Pods out back, you know, so it'd be a dandy.
Yeah.
And that would be a three purpose job. You could catfish, you could hunt out of it.
Got it.
And you could bass fish out of it.
Yes, sir.
You do it all.
So, and also too, we saw there's a couple of those jet drive boats.
We got a couple of jet drives. Yes.
Yeah.
For shallow water guys, we sell a few of those, especially up in the upper part of the state. You know.
Yeah, a lot of river fishermen up there, Bristol area. Yeah. Sure is.
Pigeon Forge up in
yes, sir.
French Broad.
Yep.
We sell those.
And man, you know, there's a few of them in our area, folks. If you just kind of notice, you pass a boat, if you don't look real close, it won't have a prop on it.
Yes, that's true.
And he's running a lot farther up the creeks than we can get with a prop boat, I tell you. But that's remember that for sure. Got a call in here. I'll make another announcement here on guy just called me there just a few minutes ago, and about the lights. You know, we've talked about these lights for 3 months now, going on 3 months, Mike, I guess, up at Point 19. Glenn, we got some lights up there, and we can't get, there's 4 lights, and we only have 1 burning. You can't see the back down the boat ramp.
Okay.
And the walkway is right down the middle, and there's been 2 boat trailers and 1 SUV up on top of the walkway up there in the dark, okay. And that we've witnessed. And so we've got some people trying to help us get those lights turned on so we can see, and especially up there of a night when you're loading up. And but anyway, this gentleman was up at Cove Creek at the boat ramp, and he run into the TWRA officer, and he wrote it down. And then plus Bill Nichols went by to talk to Roy Smith up at the hatchery Monday. And so we've got some people working on it. We haven't give up on those lights yet. I'm telling you, we're working on the lights and folks trying to get those things burning. There's a lot of people use that launch ramp up there, Glenn.
Point 19.
Yeah, Point 19. It sure is a lot of use, especially this time of year. And there will be this weekend for sure, because they'll be up there. Camped out and this, that, and the other, ski riding and what have you, fishing, and so we're trying to get the lights back on burning. But Bill was, like I said, was going by there and talked to Roy Smith at the hatchery, and so we've got 2 people working on them. Maybe we'll find out something by next week and can pass that along to you for sure. The next thing I wanted to mention to y'all was the photo of the month, folks. Got to get me some photos in, and Mr. Copeland, if you're watching, I need you to contact me on my cell number or email me there about the shirt. I don't know if Eli wants another one or he wants Grandma Copeland to have one or whatever, but if you would get in touch with me. He was the winner there for the walleye picture he sent in for the month of July. So yeah, get back with me on that. And then, folks, you know, we've only got a day or 2 left in the month of August. So if you're you know, send me some pictures of your fish if you want to get in on the T-shirt offer. Next thing, let's see. Yeah, Heartland Anglers. Their classics are going to be on Chickamauga the 19th and 20th of September. And last count I had, they had 300 and some people registered, signed up. So that thing's going, they're filling up fast. As a matter of fact, your entry had to be postmarked by the 22nd, which was last week. So I don't know if you could get in. Yeah, you can get in. It's a late fee. That's exactly right. But their tournament's going to be on Friday the 19th, and then on Saturday the 20th there at Dayton, at the Dayton Boat Dock, like they were last year. So, you know, if you're interested in that and you hadn't got your money in, just thought I'd let you know about the dates and stuff. Make sure we get in on that. So, Herschel, if you got anything for, get us a drink of water. Well, I hope the phones are on. Phones are on? Okay, we're looking for callers. Jim Williams, I hope you're watching. If you've got anything special for the Labor Day sale at your place, I'd appreciate you calling me. And I'm sorry I hadn't got a hold of you today. But anyway, we're looking forward to hearing from Jim Williams at Edgemore Outdoors. So, all right, do some graphics there, Herschel, and we'll get a drink of water. All right, give me just all right, folks, we're back, and we got somebody on the phone. Hopefully got a good question for Mr. Glenn here. Hello, caller.
Yeah, this is TED.
Yeah, TED. Okay, I see you got out of the doghouse.
Well, semi.
Okay.
It's I've had to move my residence.
Okay, so you're in the garage now or out in the doghouse?
Well, I moved from the Four Seasons doghouse to the outhouse.
Okay, I'm with you.
But anyway, I was wanting to find out if they take a trade-in on down there on depth finders from Glenn.
No, it's something I don't get into. That's a hard deal on a used depth finder. It is.
Well, you know, I mean this thing works. Like, I mean, you know, it's one of the best. Mm-hmm. And it's a 14-foot cane pole.
Oh, is it? Okay. Now that would be something that's not got obsolete yet, has it?
Well, I was going to say that if anybody was interested, they could leave their name and number down at Edgemore,
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, these women are funny. I was down, I was making some doll flies.
Right.
And my wife come in on me, and I was using one of her pair of scissors.
Oh, yeah.
Cut the hair off.
Yes, sir.
And she went crazy. I said, well, daggone, I mean, we can bury the scissors in the dirt for about 3 or 4 days, and that skunk smell will go away.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
But, I mean, you know how they are.
Oh, yes.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm down here at the outhouse, and let me tell you one thing. Do not ever light a candle in one of them. Because whatever wild hairs I had, they're gone.
Okay, man. I know. I just want you to be careful, and I hope you get out of the outhouse pretty quick.
Now, wait a minute. You're invited. It's a 2-seater.
I'm gonna leave my wife's scissors alone. I'll tell you.
I tell you, these women are crazy about things like that. But needless to say, there's always a light burning if you ever want to come in. It's sort of like the what they call the
Motel 6.
Motel 6.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm trying to work on it. If you guys ever figure out how to your lighting problems, I'm thinking about putting me one of them solar lights on it. Because them daggone owls,
yeah,
they will drive you crazy.
All right, man.
And the worst part is them little dudes running around with the race stripes down your back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, you take care of yourself. I appreciate you calling in. It's been a while since we heard from you.
Well, you can tell Uncle Mike Richards there that, like I said, I have a double-seater in that sucker.
Okay, buddy.
He's welcome anytime.
All righty. I'll tell him. I hope he's listening.
All right, toodaloo.
Okay, man. Thank you for calling. Good to hear from you. All right. Okay, folks. We've got a couple of minutes left. Glenn's any last comments you want to make?
Well, like I said, we'll go over an overview. We got a sale going on. We got a lot of top brands. We're loaded with features. We like to compare the performance, the fuel mileage, construction, the ride, and we'd sure like to show and tell what we have. We're located at 1019 South Rome Street in Harriman, Tennessee, across from Rolled Up Subaru, just a mile north of the Harriman Rockwood exit.
Yep.
So come on down and let's show you what we got. You see, before you spend your money on a lot of Kool-Aid and sometimes BS. You know.
There you go. Listen, folks, Glenn's got all kinds of props down there, and he has a special. It's not like just buying it and you take it to the lake and it doesn't perform like it ought to. He's going to stick with you until he knows what it takes to make it right. And where the thing will do what it's supposed to do.
We have a demo prop. We have a demo program on props too.
Yeah. That
you can take and try them and or buy them or trade them in on new ones or whatever. Till you get one that makes your boat do right.
Okay. There you go, folks. We're just about out of time. I appreciate Glenn being over here with us. Pass along info on his sale, and all I can say is God bless you, and hope to see you next week. And remember the Let's Go Fishing show.